The girl I've been talking about isn't a name I whisper lightly or a face I forget when the night drapes the world in silence. She's not just a fleeting feeling or someone who fades when the conversation ends. She stays, even when the crowd is gone, when my phone dims and the world grows quiet. Her laughter lives in the corners of my mind, echoing like a soft song I never want to end. Every time I try to put her into words, the letters feel unworthy, too clumsy, too small. She is the quiet in my chaos and the question in my certainty. I've spoken about her to friends, between jokes and dreams, describing the way her eyes hold stories and the way her smile undoes me. It's more than a crush, it's not an obsession. It's a steady kind of storm, one that doesn't destroy but reshapes. I've talked about her with caution, like someone afraid of jinxing a miracle. Yet even silence is too heavy when she's not near, so I speak again, hoping someone understands what she means. She isn't just a girl to me. She is the breath I didn't know I was holding, released only when I see her. She is every sentence I hesitate to finish, afraid the reality might pale compared to how I see her. She doesn't try to be perfect, and that's what makes her unforgettable. There's something real about her, something raw and rare, like the universe made her from pieces of poetry and fragments of fire. The way she talks, she doesn't try to impress. But still, her words wrap around me, and I find myself quoting her thoughts long after she's gone. Her beauty isn't loud, it lingers. It grows on you like the soft touch of the sun after days of rain. I've talked about the way she walks, not with confidence forced, but with a grace that tells you she knows who she is. And that's what fascinates me. She's not trying to be anything but herself, and that, in a world full of masks, is what makes her stand out. Every time I speak of her, I do it with a smile I can't help, even when my heart aches from the distance or the uncertainty of it all. There's something about her that brings light. I've described how she looks without knowing the right word show. The light bends differently when she's around, how colors seem brighter, time a little slower. She has a way of being present, of listening not just with ears, but with her soul. It's like she makes space for you in her world, even if only for a moment. And in that moment, you matter. I've told stories about the small things, the way she pushes her hair back, the way she laughs with her whole body, and how her eyes close when she's really listening. These aren't grand gestures or romantic fantasies, they're real, and real is what I need. The girl I've been talking about has no idea how much space she takes in my mind. Or maybe she does, and she's just waiting to see what I do with it. I've had late night conversations with the stars about her, imagining what it would be like if she knew, if she saw herself the way I do. I wonder if she feels it too, that magnetic pull, that unspoken connection. I've replayed our conversations, moments where she looked at me a second too long or smiled like she knew I was holding something back. I've tried to write about her, but the pen stumbles. I've sung songs that remind me of her and listened to others just to feel closer. And when I speak about her, people listen. Maybe they hear something in my voice that tells them this isn't just admiration, it's something deeper. I've watched her walk away too many times, not knowing if she'd turn back. Each time, I hope. Each time, I ache. But still, I speak of her like a prayer, believing that if I say it enough, maybe the universe will align and bring her closer to me, not just in thought, but in arms. The truth is, I don't even know if she thinks of me the same way. Maybe I'm just someone she's fond of, someone who lingers in her inbox but not in her heart. But I can't stop talking about her. She's in my morning thoughts and my midnight. Still, I wouldn't trade it. Loving her, or even just liking her this much, has taught me things I didn't know I needed to learn. The girl I've been talking about is more than a story. She is the chapter that made the whole book worth reading. I remember moments I never lived, dreams where she held my hand, where our conversations never ended, where the world paused just for us. I've talked about those dreams too, half laughing, half hoping. People say I'm infatuated, but it's not about fantasy, it's about the truth I feel when I'm around her. She brings something out of me, something better, something braver. She doesn't need saving, and I don't want to be her hero. I just want to be someone she remembers kindly. If love is about presence, about showing up emotionally and mentally, then maybe I've already started loving her without knowing when it began. I don't need grand declarations or dramatic conclusions. I just want to keep talking about her, keep remembering how she made me. I want to believe that maybe someday she'll feel it too, that invisible thread tying us, the quiet pull of something beautiful, unspoken and real. She is the girl who unknowingly healed me. Before her I was guarded, skeptical, tired of the games love plays. But she wasn't a game. She was an answer to a question I never knew I was asking. I've spoken about her to the wind, to the pages of my journal, to the reflection in the mirror, and every version of her feels more vivid, more grounded in truth. I'm not afraid of being vulnerable with her, even if only in thoughts. When I say her name, it tastes like hope. When I think of her, it feels like home. I've never needed someone to fix me. But somehow, without trying, she reminded me I was worth loving. She saw the chaos, the flaws, and didn't flinch. She didn't promise forever, but her presence, however brief, was enough to make me believe in something more. That's why I keep talking about her, because in a world where things are cons, I want to believe that maybe someday she'll feel it too, that invisible thread tying us, the quiet pull of something beautiful, unspoken and real. She is the girl who unknowingly healed me. Before her I was guarded, skeptical, tired of the games love plays. But she wasn't a game. She was an answer to a question I never knew I was asking. I've spoken about her to the wind, to the pages of my journal, to the reflection in the mirror, and every version of her feels more vivid, more grounded in truth. I'm not afraid of being vulnerable with her, even if only in thoughts. When I say her name, it tastes like hope. When I think of her, it feels like home. I've never needed someone to fix me. But somehow, without trying, she reminded me I was worth loving. She saw the chaos, the flaws, and didn't flinch. She didn't promise forever, but her presence, however brief, was enough to make me believe in something more. That's why I keep talking about her, because in a world where things are cons,